clear. It's a very cold one today. It's only going to get up to a high of about 42 degrees. So what I'm going to do is we're going to ride towards Algonquin in the Fox River. Because they're supposedly flooding. And my last ride last year, I went down to the Fox River in Algonquin, and it was just touching the top of the wall, but hadn't come over to the parking lot. And they said today it was going to reach 3.3 foot, and the top of the wall is 3 foot. So we're going to see today if it's actually coming over the wall and flooding the parking lot. We've had quite a bit of rain the last few days. That storm that covered the whole middle part of the country, it kept circling around and hitting us. I thought this morning I was going to wake up and there was going to be an inch of snow on the ground, because last night it was snowing pretty bad, but it looks like none of it stuck. Ahead of me and to the left is my granddaughter Serenity, my son-in-law two-wheeler for me, and then ahead of him is his son, my step-grandson Jeremiah, on the Harley. Should be pretty familiar if you watch my other videos. It's a little shopping center close by, so a lot of times if I start out near home, you'll see this same shopping center and that water tower over and over again. But this time we'll be headed a little farther north towards Crystal Lake, but we won't be going clear to Crystal Lake. We'll just stop in Algonquin. If any of you go to my website now, on my video page, you'll notice at the top I put a link in to click for free donation to animal shelter. It doesn't really take much of any effort and costs you nothing, maybe about 5 seconds a time. If you click on that link, it takes you to the website, hit the purple button, and it buys around, I don't know, half, 3/4 of a bowl of food for an animal at a shelter. So it's a quick, easy thing to do that costs nothing. So if anybody's visiting my video page, I'd appreciate if you'd click that link. I try to remember every day to click it. I think it lets you click 1 time per day. I got that from Vanzel on his website. That was one of the links. It took me a few tries to get it on my website posted correctly, but after a little work I finally did. Right now I'm filming still with the V570 instead of the CyberShot. I've got the battery to the CyberShot charging at home. I think what I'm going to mostly do is continue using the V570 and then have the CyberShot in my pocket as a backup and kind of conserve that. And then if anything does happen to the V570, I'll just have it in my pocket ready to go. I did get a chance this morning to watch Shadows talk about who he would like to speak with, and I noticed who he mentioned was somebody that I would put down too if I was talking about that. That was Old Marine. So Shadow in 1954 was talking about he wouldn't mind sitting down and talking to Old Marine. Ever since I was a kid, I liked, instead of when my friends would go off to play, sometimes if there was an older person around sitting on the porch, rather than going off to play, I would sit and talk to them, because I figure, well, you can't pick up better knowledge than somebody that has already had 20 or 30 years experience on you. And they have a saying called, you learn from your mistakes. Well, I think it's better if you learn from other people's mistakes, and if you listen to older people, sometimes they'll give you some advice and it'll save you from making some mistakes that they've made in their life. Maybe help you along the way. It's not that I've always listened. I've made plenty of my own mistakes too, but it's nice to have people experience that are willing to share some of their knowledge with you. motorcycle up ahead, the 2006 Fat Boy. Jeremiah changed the pipes and went to aftermarket pipes, which I think look a lot prettier. They're Vance Hine pipes. Trooper up ahead. Or local Algonquin cop, probably local. Oh, Barrington Hills. The stock pipes that came on his Harley, the one thing I didn't like about the design change they made was the pipes. One of the pipes they put on top of the foot pegs for the passengers, so if somebody's riding on the bike, they naturally want to put their foot on top of the pipes. So I've seen a lot of the used trade-ins to where you see that burned off rubber or shoe leather, whatever, because of the people putting their foot on top of a hot pipe, which isn't a safe design either, I don't think. So if I owned a newer Harley, that'd be the first thing I'd do, is change the pipes. I still think, based on the bikes that I've tried, if somebody were to give me a free bike, the one I'd still choose would probably be the Triumph American as far as fitting me. Fits as well as the Sportster. And quite a bit cheaper too. I think it's a few $1,000s cheaper. Oh, by the way, when my son-in-law stopped by, I talked in one of my videos about the Yamaha VMAX from the early 80s. I didn't know they were still making them. He told me to go to the Yamaha website and take a look that they were still making, and I couldn't believe that. They still make a Yamaha VMAX. It's got a little bit more flat black on it than chrome, but that's kind of interesting. Next time I get near a Yamaha dealer, they've got one down south near St. Charles. I'll have to stop in and see what the VMAX looks like. But it looks very, from the pictures I saw on the website, it looks very similar to the old classic VMAX from the 80s. Doesn't look much different. I just can't believe they stuck with that model and they're still making them. Okay, we're in Algonquin now. If you guys get a chance to, I don't know how many of you guys are either subscribed or friends with Swipe, but he's making some really nice videos of him walking around downtown London, and some of it's kind of familiar to me, not because I've ever been there and probably never will, but watching Doctor Who on Sci-Fi Channel, you get to see downtown London sometimes, and it's nice to see him walking around downtown London and talking about it, and at least showing you a place probably in my lifetime I'll never see. So thanks a lot, Swipe, for making those videos. I wouldn't mind really if you even spent the rest of the summer showing me different places in London or even around England, even if it's just a walk around. I think it's nice sometimes when guys just make a variety of styles of video. I was even thinking like 88 Hawaii, just getting one of those sticky pads too and putting it inside my Cherokee, and if the weather's bad, just do my vlogs from the Cherokee. Or maybe if I have a job I'm going to, maybe I'll stick it on the dash and take you guys along when I go for a job, when I'm working on somebody's house or repairing something.